Talkyashitdaily, a podcast where we don't give no you, and you. Oh, and did I say you? Yeah, you too. Now, let's talk about it.
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Big Slick, and welcome to Talk Your Shit. We got a great show for today. But first, I want to give a shout out to all the listeners, whether you at work, at home, in your car, or all the truck drivers on the road. I appreciate you tuning in. Listen, I'm going to jump right into it. We got a great show today. First, we're going to be talking about, is there any OGs that's still passing down knowledge to the young dudes in the hood, man? Let's talk about it because I don't know. Let's jump into it. So, when I was growing up, it was always an OG in the neighborhood or a couple of them that are passed down that game, man. So you don't got to go through the same thing they went through or made the same mistakes that they did. Now, mind you, these dudes they street dudes, but it still was a code to where, the young kids, the younger guys was protected by all means. I don't know if that still go on nowadays, but when I was growing up, if you was a younger guy running around in the streets, people saw you doing something wrong, they're gonna say something. They're gonna tell your moms, they're gonna tell your pops, they telling somebody. You'll have, older ladies screaming out the window, telling you to stop doing what you're doing. Another thing is nobody wasn't running around all night long. When them street lights came on, the younger kids was in the house. I don't know if that's still going on and who's even watching that now. You know, I don't even know if, like I said, the OGs or you know what I'm saying, the older people is really able to communicate with the kids now and tell them to go in the crib. And if the kids are even going to listen to it, at this point. But before, when them lights go out and it's still kids running around, you will have every adult, every older person telling you to take your butt in the house. I don't know how is that even happening nowadays, what I'm saying, the way it is. But then, it was a code. Kids in an area, in a neighborhood, in the hood was protected, right? The neighborhood was protected. Even by the guys that was shady and wasn't doing, they street guys, but they protected the kids and the ladies in the neighborhood. You were safe when you was in the neighborhood. Now, if you walked out the neighborhood, that may is something different going on. But within that neighborhood, you was protected. I don't even know if that's going on now. You know what I'm saying? With the kids running around. I don't know if they showing the same respect to the adults like how they did when I was younger. When I was younger, you showed respect. You know what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong. We wasn't perfect. Everybody was running around doing whatever. But when it came to somebody older, we listened to them. At least when they was around watching us, we didn't just blatantly disrespect. You know what I'm saying, the OGs or the older women in the community, in the projects, in the hood. You just didn't do that. You know, but everybody looked out for each other and you communicated. Even if the guys that tell you, hey, yo, stay off the block. This would have happened. I know I'm out here, but you don't need to be out here, right? Civilians was protected. So if you wasn't about, just the street life and being out there like that, you was protected. You wasn't involved in, what was going on out there. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't involved. Now, sometimes certain stuff happened to, to innocent people. But the whole focus of everything, it didn't happen like that. It was if you was involved in the street, certain thing happened. When you wasn't, you was protected to the best of, you know, the guys around their ability. They didn't try to let nothing come at you. So like I said, kids was protected. If you going to school, you a school kid. A lot of the guys made sure you stayed out of trouble. You stayed off the block. When it was late, go in the house. If you was they knew you was a protege playing ball, you was protected. You going to college, you was protected. You know what I'm saying, by these guys in the neighborhood. And I was just trying to just pose this question: is this still going on? Is the youth still being protected by the older guys in the neighborhood, by the OGs? And is the OGs still passing down knowledge? Or are the OGs don't have no knowledge no more? I don't know. I don't really know what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just asking this question. Help me out. Because before, they'll tell you a little something and they communicate with the younger guys. So I don't know if the younger guys paying attention to the older guys now, or are the older guys even talking to the younger generation? I don't know. If is it a gap right there that we can't bridge the gap where we lost communication some kind of way down the line, because the blueprint was that you was passing it down. But now I don't know if it's being passed down. Now I don't know if the younger generation looking at the older guys like, yo, you lame. I'm not listening to you. Nah, you ain't getting no money. You ain't doing this. I don't know. I really don't know. But I hope that it's still the same way, to where the kids, coming up in the neighborhood is protected by the older adults, and people are looking out for each other. Because before it was like it was a village. So even if your mother wasn't around, or she working two jobs or double shifts, that next door neighbor made sure you got in the house from school, made sure you wasn't running in and out. They watched each other's kids. I don't know if that's going on no more, but that's how it was. They saw you doing something wrong, or the older dude to snatch you up and check you. Yo, stop doing that. You shouldn't be out here doing that. So I hope, again, I hope that's still going on, that knowledge is still being passed down. Because if it's not, that's not a good look. And if the older dudes now, I don't know, are they dumbed down? I don't know. Do they got any knowledge to pass down? I have no idea. But hopefully they do. Hopefully they do, and it'll help out these young guys that's running around out here right now. If they do got somebody that just can, give them a little bit of advice and make sure they're doing the right thing, especially at a young age, man. You 12, 11, 13, 14. You got an older guys in the neighborhood, trying to tell you, hey, man, don't do this. I done did this and that don't work. It helps them out a lot. But, you never know. Hopefully it's happening. It's happening out there to where that knowledge is still being spreaded. Hope so. But again, it's been another episode of Talk Your Shit. I'm Big Slick. And look, if you want to be a part of the show, email me at talkyourshitdaily@gmail.com. That's talkyourshitdaily@gmail.com. I'll pull your email, read it on the show, give you my honest, uncut, raw opinion, whether you like it or not, because that's what I do. Again, this is Big Slick, and I'm out. Peace.